this week's edition of Smelly Cat, and today we are looking at the digestive and urinary system. So, to begin with, we can start up here in the throat, and we see this cat has not been fully dissected, so I'm going to go ahead and come up here above the larynx so that I can cut back there and hopefully see the epiglottis, which will be protecting the larynx when we swallow so that food can just pass back through to the esophagus, which is the first structure that we're looking for in this dissection. So, oh, nope, there's a hyoid bone there, Mr. Epiglottis. I guess we can see a little bit of it there. But back behind here is the esophagus. So I'm taking this probe and sticking it. You can see it's coming posterior to the trachea. If we separate this connective tissue here, you can see the trachea in the front, and the esophagus runs posterior through that. It's going to go through the diaphragm, the respiratory diaphragm, through the esophageal hiatus, and bring material into the stomach. So this is the stomach, and this cat has recently had a meal. Well, recently, you know, like, what we call that, peri-mortem? Around death. Peri-mortem meal. Sometimes it's necessary to snap the rib in order to really get a full view of what's going on. So, why not? Let's just check out what's going on here in this stomach. So you can see the esophagus is going to lead down through that hiatus and into this cardiac region. So this would be the fundus, this would be the body, and this region that's kind of thickening out and entering the small intestine is the pylorus. If we go ahead and look in this stomach, oh, we can see a nice meal of wet food. And I was hoping to see, oh, you can kind of see some of the rugae in this guy. So if you look in there, you can see these folds in the stomach wall. So that's going to be an internal feature of the stomach that is not shared throughout all organs of the alimentary canal. So from the stomach, food is going to mix with gastric juice and become chyme that enters the small intestine. The small intestine is going to finish up chemical digestion and do all of our major nutrient absorption, and then leads to our large intestine, which is going to reclaim all of our last water and solidify our solid waste to be excreted from the body. So this is all the cat's large intestine. Other things that we need to be aware of, accessory organs. This is the liver here, and this is the gallbladder here. This is a much better example of a gallbladder than the cat we had before break. So this is the gallbladder here. The gallbladder is the liver produces bile, the gallbladder stores that bile and concentrates it, and then during digestion squirts it into the duodenum of the small intestine. Another organ, accessory organ that's important is the pancreas. And I should have shown that probably before I obliterated our stomach. But here you can see the pancreas is this weird kind of organ that's kind of hugged. If you look, the stomach it's behind that, and it's kind of hugged by the duodenum of the small intestine. So that's it right there. The pancreas has endocrine and exocrine functions. The endocrine function of releasing pancreatic juice into the duodenum for digestion. And that wraps up the digestive system. For the urinary system, here are our kidneys right here. So the kidneys are doing all of the major work for the urinary system, filtering our blood and producing urine. So we can pull off that renal fascia and see the kidney here. Here is our renal vein exiting, renal arteries going into it. We could see, if you look in here, we call this the root of the kidney, and it enters this indented region here called the hilum. The root of the kidney contains a renal vein, a renal artery, and a ureter. Our ureter is the next organ that we want to identify. So our ureters are going to lead away from the kidney and down to our urinary bladder. Well, this guy has a huge urinary bladder. This is it. So this ureter is leading away into our urinary bladder, which is then storing our urine and conducting it before it's being conducted out of the body through the urethra. So, can we see that? Kidney, ureter. Ureter leads to a urinary bladder. Urinary bladder leads to the urethra, and then it would be evacuated out of the body. On this side, here's our other kidney, and it has been removed. So, we could follow the ureter up from the bladder and find it right here.